Hi there, lovely. 7 years ago, I made a really good decision to buy a quarter of a property on an affordable housing sort of scheme that the government here runs called shared ownership. And it was a new property, it still is, but it was a fantastic decision. I'd been out of the country for 6, 7 years. I didn't have a base here, so being able to get this house was a really kind of big change for me, given that I'd pretty much rented for a long time. And to know that I was safe and I was in my own home was just life-changing and a great decision. And then 2 weeks ago, the doctor told me that I had osteoarthritis in my left knee. And as the doctor said, and as lots of people online have told me, motion is lotion. So I need to get moving and I need to do some walking. And that led me to kind of thinking about, I love walking. Why have I not been walking? Because it's very clear that the flare-up of the osteoarthritis was caused by the fact that I've literally done virtually no walking in the last too long, months and months and months. And I started to think about why that was. Now, part of it is kind of practical. I work full time and I run the business outside of that. So time is always precious. But one of the other things is where I live is I'm at the back end of a new estate. I'm surrounded by houses. I'm surrounded by estates. And if I walked out of here and did, say, for example, a quick 30-minute walk, I would have to walk in areas that are not particularly safe. Because it's all new estates, there's no corner shop that I can walk to. There's nowhere nice to walk. And I sat and kind of had a conversation with myself and thought, seriously, Jules, you're not thinking about moving house just because you don't want to get in the car to go for a walk. But that's exactly what I'm doing. And that's because I've been sober for the last 9 years and my clarity of thinking has been and continues to be laser sharp and focused when I know I need to make a decision. And I'm going to live somewhere that I've always wanted to live. And just an aside, if you are thinking that your grey area drinking is kind of holding you back and stopping you from, I wouldn't necessarily say live the dream because I just think that's a little bit overdone, but just living a life that feels good and exciting for you, then in the description box below, there's a free workbook called 10 Things I Wish I'd Known when I was grey area drinking, and it'll help you get the clarity that you need. But that's the decision that I made last week. It was to move house. Now, I am 63. I am in a bungalow and it's very affordable. And I'm laughing because what I'm about to say sounds like a really stupid idea because it's really affordable to live here. And if I retire, on state pension and my little bit of work pension, I'd be comfortable. Certainly, I could live and it would be fine. But what I've noticed, because I'm working and I'm running the business, because I don't necessarily feel 100% safe walking around where I walk, I haven't been out. Time is limited. And I know everybody's said to me, well, just get in the car and go somewhere nice. But I don't want to. I want to be able to walk outside of my front door and go for a walk somewhere nice. And I know that might sound like really entitled and sort of, you know, what more do you need, Jules? You know, you've got a lovely house with a garden and it's affordable. But my heart and soul is not here. And one thing I've learned, sorry, it just made me quite emotional. But that's it. My heart and soul is not here. This was a great practical decision, but it was never the place I would live forever. So I've been cleaning. I'm really tired today, and probably why I'm a bit emotional, but I've been cleaning the house to within an inch of its life. You know, the way you never live unless it's been valued. The house is immaculate, the garden's immaculate, and I'm doing the numbers, and I am excited as anything because I've worked out that I can actually move to an area that I really want to live, that has that walk out of your door and go to a cafe and go for a nice walk in a nice area, feel safe, be in nature, and just have a much more outside of my house kind of life. And I am really, really excited about that. And I know 100% for a fact that if I was still drinking, nothing on this planet would drag me out of this house, because it is easy, it's affordable, the house is safe, you know, it's a new house, there's never going to be anything wrong with it, probably until I die. But I would always have lived the rest of my days thinking, nah, is that it? Is this it? So I'm moving house. And I think for you, for those of you who are drinking and sometimes thinking, like, God, there's got to be more to life than this. There has to be more to life than this. Then after 9 years of being sober, I can promise you that absolutely is. I still make good decisions for myself. I know this is a good decision because the next property that I buy will be my own home 100%. And that gives me the kind of freedom that I want in my life. And I wonder if that's the kind of freedom, not necessarily obviously the same circumstances, but making those big life decisions that sitting in alcohol feels too hard to do. I promise you, there is nothing bad about giving up alcohol. Having your mind back, having that clarity back, having the bravery and the confidence to make a decision that is 100% yours, that absolutely you know is the right decision to make. That is the great joy of sobriety. Also, thank you so much. I really hope that you found this useful and it's given you a little bit of inspiration to start thinking about what your dreams might be. Thank you for getting this far. I really appreciate it. There's a freebie in the description box below that will help you get the kind of clarity you need that I now have for my life going forward. And I hope at some point you'll come and join me, and watch out for news of my new membership group too. Lots of love. See you soon.